morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Feel free to put on a little music. I'll give you a minute here, but find some nice tunes to do this practice to. And we'll just start out in a seated position. If you want to sit cross-legged, that's cool. If you want to sit on your knees, fold up a blanket. If it's uncomfortable for you, just feel that in between your butt and your legs. Take a little pressure off your knees. We're going to start with a little bit of deep breathing just to charge up our bodies, give ourselves a little bit of an oxygen boost before we start here. So we're just going to do about 15 breaths, really nice and deep. Remember to fill your belly, fill your lungs. You can breathe with your mouth, or if your nose is feeling good, you can use your nose. So just go with some breathing here. Nice and deeply in. Let it go. Find a good rhythm. Maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Five more, making good. Two more. This next one, stop on your inhale and hold. Let it go. Hands out to your sides, fingertips to the side of your mat. And we're just going to drop our head from side to side. Bringing some movement into our neck. Warming up our neck. If you do JiuJitsu, if you trained yesterday, even the day before, your neck might be a little stiff. It's a nice way to start it off. Your chin can be closer to your chest, or you can be looking up, whatever feels good. Don't forget to keep breathing. Now let it come to the left side. Give yourself a few breaths to stretch the right side. Keep your shoulders sinking down. Just let the weight of your head stretch the right side of your neck. One more nice deep breath. Side to side a few more times. And then let your head fall to the right side. Left hand is reaching long, shoulders relaxed. Breathe some length into that left side. Nice. Back to center. Nod our head yes. Chin to chest. Looking up, nice and slow, forward and backward movements. You can even arch your spine a little bit. Just keep your shoulders relaxed. Next one, let your chin drop to your chest. Relax your neck, relax your head, feel a stretch in the back of your neck. Feel that lengthening on your inhale and the relaxation on your exhale. Hold that. Come back to center. Let's take our arms behind our back and grab opposite elbows. So that chest can expand, your shoulders can stretch a little bit. Do a few more yes nods. And then let that head drop backwards. Look up, and breathe. Nice, let that go. Let's do some nice circles with your head, all the way around, nice and slow. Get some clicks and some pops. You can just kind of freestyle here, whatever feels good for you. When you switch to the other direction, switch the grip of your elbows so your other arm is in front. Go the other way. If you find a nice spot with some tension, stop there and take a couple breaths. Enjoy this. Nice. Shake it out a little bit. Hands to your knees. Let's roll the shoulders. Big shoulder circles. Up, back, down, forward. Keep on breathing. Switch directions. Breathing with your nose if it feels good. Here's a cool shoulder stretch. Arms out to the side. Turn your right hand up. Turn your left hand the opposite way, so down and back. So they're both facing up, but opposite directions, reaching out, and then switch. Just get some rotation in that shoulder. You can even turn a little bit and drop that shoulder. Just move it back and forth. Cool, shake that out. Right arm in front of your chest. Hug it with your left arm. Pull it to your chest, stretching the back of your arm. Keep your spine straight. If you want to adjust your seat, sit in a cross-legged position. Be nice to shake out your legs. Bring that right arm in front. Stretch it out. Roll that right wrist. Bring some movement into your wrist and a stretch into that shoulder. Nice. Bending both arms. Try to catch that thumb. We're looking for eagle arms here. If you hold onto that thumb, that's nice. Almost Americana. Giving your right arm an Americana. If you can walk your hands together, palm to palm, nice. If you can go even deeper, again, don't push it too hard, but you can wrist lock that top hand. Feels nice. Keep your elbows lifting up to stretch your back and your shoulders. 3 more breaths here. Let that go, shake it out. Left arm in front of your chest. Hug it in with your right arm. Roll your left wrist. Some movement into those little joints, fingers and hand. Increase the stretch. If you want to stay here, that's cool. This is your practice. Feel free to stay in a good range for you where you can breathe easy and things feel good. I might push you a little further, but you don't need to listen to me. Bend both arms. Grab that thumb with your bottom fingers. That's your first grip. It can feel good. If you can go palm to palm, intensify a little bit, lifting your elbows. Maybe wrist locking that top wrist. See how I'm doing that there? My bottom hand folds over. And it's a nice stretch. 3 more breaths here. Nice, big, deep breaths. Let that go nice and slow. Shake it out. We'll come to our knees. Looking for a child's pose here. So your knees can be nice and wide, your big toes touching, your hips sink back onto your heels, and your hands walk forward until your chest and your forehead come down to the mat. And just relax. Your hips are heavy, your shoulders stretch out, maybe walking your fingers 1 more half of an inch. And just breathe here. Stay there if it feels good, or come with me into a side stretch. So coming up onto your knees, and then turning your knees to face the right side of your mat. So your legs are together, sit your butt back, and then walk your hands out a little bit, and you should feel a stretch all the way along this right side of your body, the right rib cage, all the way into that right hip crease. Adjust so it feels good. And then take a few deep breaths. Lift your hips, walk your knees back to center, and walk your knees off to the left side. So your legs are perpendicular with your mat. Toes are touching, sink your hips back. Your hands are about shoulder width apart, and you're feeling a nice long stretch on that left side of your body. Head can hang. 3 more deep breaths here. Back to center. Now keeping your butt stacked, your hips stacked over your knees, walk your hands out into this puppy dog pose. Feel your chest and head drop to the mat, your shoulders expand. Maybe walk your hands a little bit further, giving yourself a little bit of a back bend, opening space in the back of your shoulders. Keep breathing. And from here, tuck your toes and lift your hips. Keep your knees bent. Let that head hang nice and loose. Downward facing dog. Maybe straighten one leg, straighten the other leg. Just walking it out. Feel those legs stretch. And nice and slowly walk your feet 1 foot at a time up to meet your hands until you find yourself in a nice ragdoll forward fold, belly connected to thighs, knees slightly bent, and your head hangs, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, swaying a little bit side to side. Now, when I turn, I'm going to turn my feet, toes out just a little bit, and then my hands on the mat, squat down into that low squat. Look up, straighten your spine. Hands back to the mat and lift your hips again. Turn your toes straight, forward fold. Toes out, squat. Remember, if you're up here in your squat, your heels are lifted, No stress, that's fine. Just work on sinking that weight back, getting comfortable here. One more time, up into that fold. And into the squat. Turn those toes out 10 degrees. Nice. Let's do one more. This feels good. Forward fold, keeping that belly connection. And squat back down. Nice. Put your hands behind you. Lower your butt to the ground. You don't have to turn like me. I'm just going to face you. So right here, chest is lifted. And windshield wipe your knees side to side. Your feet are a little wider than hips width apart. Just going back and forth with your knees. Warming up your hips. Bring a little glute engagement and lift your hips when your knees are down. Keep breathing. We'll make our figure four stretch here. So in the same position, the right ankle comes to the top of the left knee. Sit your hips back. You can adjust that front foot or your butt to intensify or take some strain off of that stretch. Just find a spot that feels good. Lean into it. Open up that outside of your right hip. 3 more nice deep breaths. Shake that leg out a little bit. Left ankle, right knee, figure four stretch. Make some adjustments so it feels good. Feel a nice stretch in the outside of that left hip. See if you can breathe some space into that stretch, into that tension. Listening to your body, putting your mind inside of your hip. One more breath. Nice. Feet to the ground. Lift our hips in this reverse table. And now we're going to flow from reverse table to all fours. I want you to lift your right foot, lift your left hand, and then switch those spots. So your right leg kicks under and goes to where your left hand was. I'm on all fours. Right hand lifts, left foot lifts, left foot goes to right hand goes back to where left foot was. Got that? It's a little tricky, but we're just flowing here. You can go both directions. Switching the diagonals. Just feel it out, play around a little bit, have some fun. Get your heart rate going a little bit. Both directions. Stop in this upward table, press your hips up, feel that shoulder stretch, feel your hips. Do a couple more spins. Nice. And stop in a regular tabletop. Bring your knees down to the ground. Let's get our good hand position here. Fingers spread nice and wide. Shoulder width apart. Right foot comes outside of that right hand. Adjust the back knee until you feel a nice stretch in the front of the left hip. Sink your hips low, pull your chest forward, look forward, lizard lunge. On your next exhale, straighten your right leg and let your hips come back. Pull your toes back, feel that stretch along the back of your right leg, maybe folding forward a little bit. Take a couple breaths. And now let's find some movement between those two. Inhale, come forward, lift your chest, sink your hips. Exhale, straighten your right leg, fold. Inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Back into this lizard lunge, and we'll add the twist. So your left hand is nice and strong. Opening your right shoulder, right hand, right knee. Maybe push, open that hip a little bit. If that feels good, stay right here and breathe. If you want to add that intense foot grab stretch, my favorite, kick that heel to your butt. Rock back a little bit so you can catch that foot. If you grab it from the outside, you can open that right shoulder up to the sky for a nice twist, pulling on that foot for a quad stretch. Whew. Yeehaw. Let that go. We're going to move into a side plank here, so make that left hand extra strong. Lift your left knee, drop that back foot to the outside, and then meet your left foot with your right foot. Balancing in a side plank, right hand to the ceiling. If this is too intense, that left knee can go to the ground here. Just give yourself a nice straight spine. Hold it for 2 more breaths. Right hand down into a plank. Hold it there, and nice and slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Hands come to your side. Press your hips into the mat and peel your chest up, looking forward, pulling your shoulders back. Let that go. Hands to the mat. Push back to tabletop. Let's go to child's pose for 1 second, just to breathe here. Nice. All right. Lizard lunge, other side, left foot, outside of left hand. Adjust that back knee until you feel a nice even stretch all the way up that front hip and the back of your left leg. Might feel different for you. It's okay, just find something that feels good. Pull your chest forward, look up, sink your hips, breathe. Next exhale, that left leg straightens, hips go back for a hamstring stretch. 3 breaths, nice and slow. Going forward to that lunge and moving with the breath here. So inhale forward, exhale back. Pull those toes back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Two more, moving with your breath. Stopping that lizard lunge. Right hand is nice and big, firm into the mat, so I can push. Straight, strong frame, shoulder, twisting to the left, sinking my hips, maybe opening my left hip by pushing my left hand into my knee. Maybe kicking my right heel to my butt and reaching back for that foot grab. From the outside, open that shoulder, twist, sink it low. Ooh, baby. Let that grip go. We're gonna come into our side plank. So right hand super, super strong outside of your right foot, and then stack your feet. Left hand in the air. 3 breaths. To a plank. Lower all the way down. Hands next to your rib cage. Push your feet into the mat. Raise your chest, look up. Nice juicy back bend. And push your hips back to that child's pose. Nice. Where are we? Cool. All right, we're on our knees here. Toes are tucked. I'm gonna go from this upward kneeling position. Move your hips around a little bit. Little back bend. Sit your hips back and come into that squat. Adjust your feet so you're in a good position here. Let's do that one more time. So your knees fall forward, hips lift, little back bend, hips sit back, arms out in front, back to that squat. Nice. Again, if your heels are lifted here, no big deal. Good, you're just a little bit more challenged in your balance. So just get comfortable in that squat, move around a little bit. Elbows to the inside of your knees, hands together. Open your knees, open your hips, lift your chest, straighten your spine. Make it a twist. Left arm goes straight, fingertips to the mat, opening up to that right side. Push on that knee a little bit, the right knee with your right hand. Twisting to the right. If you want to go for the bind, left thumb turns down and wraps around behind that leg. Right hand reaches behind to meet that. Get a grip and pull yourself open. It's a nice twist, nice shoulder opener. Back to center. Right arm goes straight. Tricep inside of your knee, so you have some leverage to twist your left shoulder open. Go for that bind, turn that thumb down and wrap it behind your leg. Connect your hands, open your chest. Back to center. Let's go into that camel one more time. Turn your feet forward, let your knees drop to the mat, lift your hips, move your hips around. Really press those hips forward and let that head drop back a little bit. Try not to compress too much. Keep your glutes engaged and your chest lifting here. back to that squat. We're gonna do some rock and rolls. So walk yourself, little squat walk to the front of your mat. Now when we rock and roll, we're trying to stay off of our neck, especially in the beginning. Don't need to hurt our neck. And let's see if we can get enough momentum to come all the way back to the squat. So grab my knees, rock back, and try to come all the way up to that squat again. Do that 5 times. You can hold your arms out in front of you too for a little more balance. Nice. Next one, let's stop upside down on our shoulders, upside down guard. Just let your legs relax. Make sure you can breathe easy here. Toes can touch the mat if you're flexible. Try not to turn your head from side to side, especially if you're putting pressure on your neck. Just work on breathing here, getting comfortable upside down. You get comfortable enough here, it gets real hard to pass your guard. Sebastian can attest to that. All right, this time when we rock up, we're going to come up into a balance on one foot. So right foot is going to be close to your butt and left foot is out straight. So when I come up, I'm in this pistol position, and I can even lift my butt up and balance on that foot right here. So 3 limbs out in front, and I'm balancing. Try it again. Same side. Coming up to that low pistol squat, balancing here. Switch sides, let's balance on that left foot. Coming forward, balancing here. One more on each side. Balancing. Nice. This time we're going for the pistol squat. If you got it in you, stand all the way up. And rock and roll. Other side, pistol squat. Let's do 2 more each side. Here we go. Pistol squat. Good balance. It's tough, but give it a shot. 1 more each side. Here we go. All right, let's stay balanced on that left foot. If you're not here, come join me. Balance on your left foot. And we'll go to a tree pose. If you want, right foot into your left thigh. Or if you got a half lotus, you can grab the outside of that foot, hug that leg up, and stick your heel into your pelvis, and then let that knee drop down. If you're in that normal tree, no worries. Just working on our balance here. If you're in this half lotus, your right arm can reach behind your back and find some grip on your forearm. And just keep that knee dropping. Pick one place to look at with your eyes and keep your gaze there. It'll help your balance. 2 more breaths. Let that go, shake it out a little bit. And we'll do that same rock and roll squat, pistol on the other side. Right foot down, left foot out, butt up, and squat. You don't have to hop like me, I'm just doing that so you can see a little bit better. My foot to my thigh. Keep your foot off of your knee. That'll compromise your tendons there. Foot to thigh. Or if you want the half lotus, pull that heel almost into your belly, holding that bunion grip on your foot and let that knee drop down, opening up your hip, making that connection, left hand behind your back to your forearm, kind of squeezing everything a little bit and also relaxing some things. Keep your face relaxed. Keep your breathing nice and long. Find that steady gaze. 3 more breaths. Let that go. All right, let's do some handstands. So a little tutorial, keeping my fingers spread real wide, just outside of shoulder width apart. This pointer finger mount is pushing strong into the mat. You can walk back to like a little short dog. Then we're gonna jump one leg up and try to throw your hips up in the air with that leg. So your gaze, you're looking just ahead of your fingers and just jumping your hips up a little bit. If that's all you can do, just that little jump, no worries. If you got a handstand practice already, feel free to go for it and hold a little bit. Do 3 more jumps with your right leg. Switch legs, let's do a few jumps on this side. If you gotta come down, shake out your wrists a little bit, no worries. Handstand jumps. 3 more. Nice. Sit down, cross-legged or on your knees. Take a deep breath. 1 more. Nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. 1 more. Nice. Let's do a little butterfly stretch. Bring your feet to touch in front of you. The distance between your pelvis and your feet varies depending on your hip flexibility. If you're very flexible, you can move your hips really close to your heels. If you're a little tighter, give yourself some space. Hands can come to your ankles or your feet. Push your elbows into your knees if it feels good. Try not to round too much into your shoulders and upper back. Keep that chest lifted and pulling forward. Find a hip stretch. And take 5 nice deep breaths. Your head can hang and relax, that's okay. Slowly come up out of that. Spread your legs wide. Flex your toes, point your toes. Lift your chest. And then we'll fold forward, hinging at your hips, leading with your chest. So your shoulders are pulling back until your legs feel a nice stretch. Depending on your flexibility, maybe this is good enough. Feels good for me. After a couple breaths here, maybe I'll grab my toes, pull my chest forward a little bit more, and let my head hang. You can do the same. Find a nice comfortable pose with some good stretch in the back of your legs, and take 5 deep breaths. Nice and slowly come up out of that. Bring your feet back together, hands behind you, and just rock your hips forward and backward. Give yourself space to lay down onto your back. And extend your feet straight up into the air, tailbone flat to the mat, 90 degrees, torso to legs like you're standing on the ceiling. Just feel that blood flow change a little bit. Legs up the wall. If you actually want to go to the wall and put your legs up against the wall, it can be nice if this is uncomfortable for you. If you want to stay here, no worries. If you want to take it a little bit further into the inversion, push your elbows into the mat and lift your hips up until your hands can come to your lower back, keeping your head facing forward. Make sure you can breathe. If you can't breathe here, come out of it a little bit. Shoulder stand. 3 more nice deep breaths. Stay here, or if it feels good, let those feet come over your head. Upside down guard, one more time. Plow pose, your hands can be on the mat here, you can keep supporting your lower back. Just trying to avoid any strain in your neck. Relax and breathe here. Using your hands for support, lower your hips all the way down to the mat. Nice and gentle. Hug both of your knees into your chest. Make a grip, interlace your fingers, and hug one of your knees. Pull it towards your armpit. We'll say left knee hug, straighten your right leg. If you want to try a little different grip, take your left arm up and around that knee and make a gable grip, pulling that knee deep into your armpit as your right leg flattens to the ground. Just breathing some space into that hip crease. Right hand goes to that left knee, left arm flat on the ground, out to a T, keeping that left shoulder flat to the mat. Scoot your hips, use your right foot to scoot your hips a little bit to that left side, maybe an inch or two, and then let your knees fall over to that right side for a reclined twist. Try to keep that left shoulder flat to the mat. Try to make a nice even twist all the way up your spine. If your neck feels good, you can look over to that left hand, completing the twist. 5 deep breaths here. Nice and easy, back to center. Plant your feet, lift your hips, do a little bridge here to recenter your spine. Left leg goes straight, hug your right knee, either interlace your fingers or reach that right arm all the way around so your elbow creases over your knee. Gable grip. Kind of like you're doing a Dan Severn on your knee. You can even go full rear naked choke grip too if you want. It's a little intense for me today, so I'll stick with that. The D-Sev.
Feel your back relaxing, your hips relaxing, face relaxing as you pull that knee gently towards your armpit. Two more nice deep breaths. Fill your belly, fill your chest. Left hand to your right knee, right hand straight out to the side, keeping that right shoulder on the mat. Drop your legs, your knee off to the left side. You can bend both legs if it feels good, or keep that left leg straight. Twisting here. Oh, I forgot to scoot your hips up. If you want to use your left foot to bump your hips over to that right side a little bit, just makes a little bit easier twist in your spine. Make sure you're breathing here. If your breath feels constrained or constricted, back out a little bit. 5 more nice deep breaths in this twist. Keep your face, your feet, your hands relaxed. Feel free to close your eyes. Nice and easy, back to center. Reset your hips, feet to the mat. Press your hips up for a little bridge. Walk your shoulder blades underneath. Lift your hips, squeeze your butt, and let that go. Hug both of your knees. Rock side to side. Give yourself a little massage. Reach in between your legs to grab the outside of your feet. If this is too much, you can always adjust and grab your ankles too. But we're coming to happy baby pose, so keep those feet up towards the ceiling and pull down with your arms. Important to try to keep that tailbone connected to the earth. If you feel like you're rounding up here, that's no good. Maybe adjust your grip so that tailbone, your hips, your sacrum can stay planted on the mat, and then let those hips stretch. 5 more breaths here. Some of the most important flexibility for jiu-jitsu is your ability to get your feet, for a guard player at least, your ability to get your feet and your knees close to your shoulders so you have that space closed off. This is a nice stretch for an open guard player. Maybe straighten one leg, straighten the other leg. That feels good. One more breath. And let it go. Straighten your legs. Let your feet drop open to the outside. Let your hands fall face up, out to your sides. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath. Adjust your head so your neck feels good. This is your corpse pose, your shavasana, restorative. Just make it feel like you've died and gone to heaven. Easy breathing. Close your eyes. Let it go. Feel your face relax. Feel your shoulders relax, arms, hands, fingers, your belly sinks low, your legs get very heavy.
So we've gone to 50 minutes right now. Please feel free to stay in that position. I'll guide you through a couple rounds of the Wim Hof breathing, but just so you know, it's 10:51 right now, so if you have things to do, feel free to sit up, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. If not, we're going to do some deep breathing. So if you weren't here last week, the Wim Hof breathing method consists of 30 deep breaths, really deep, filling your belly, your chest, into your throat, and letting it go. Not forcing any air out, not pushing, just deeply in, and let it go. So that's a breath. We'll do 30 of those deep breaths. You should start to feel some tingling in your fingers, maybe a little lightheaded. That's why it's really important to be as comfortable as possible. You can even grab a little blanket and put it over you because your temperature can change a little bit when doing this practice. We'll do 30 of those deep breaths. Get the tingling, build up that sensation, feel that extra boost of oxygen, and then a couple more breaths. And on the last breath, you'll exhale, not fully, but just let it go, and then stop. And hold that breath for as long as you can until you feel that urge to breathe again. Maybe fight it a little bit, but you don't need to fight it too hard. And then take a deep breath in and hold that for about 15 seconds. So that's one round. 30 deep breaths, exhale, hold as long as you can. Inhale, hold for 15 seconds. So I think we should have time for about 2 rounds of that. If you have your stopwatch too, you can use that for your retention time just to see where you are, see some progression. But let's give it a shot. Here we go. Follow along with me. I'll guide you. Breathe in with your nose or your mouth, whatever's easier. Deeply in. Let it go. Find a rhythm. Deeply in. Let it go. Deeply in. Let it go. Charging your body with oxygen. It's a controlled hyperventilation. That's 10. We got 20 more. Belly, belly, chest, head. Let it go. Stay relaxed, but breathe deep. Relax your face. 10 more. Five more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go and hold. You don't need oxygen in your lungs because you have oxygen in your tissue from the breathing. This retention helps to pull that oxygen out of your tissue, doing some detoxifying. You might feel cramps. Just go into those sensations. Trust that you're okay without oxygen in your lungs. If that urge to breathe is too strong, take that deep breath in and hold it for 15 seconds. If you're still going, nice. Stay relaxed. Stay calm. This is a meditation. I'm ready for that breath in. Take it nice and deep. Hold it for 15 seconds. Feel that rush of fresh oxygen. Maybe press some blood to your head and let it go. Nice. One round. Let's do another one. Here we go. Deeply in. Let it go. Deeply in. Let it go. You're an oxygen pump. Pumping oxygen into all of your tissues. You know you're oxygenated when you feel tingles, lightheaded. Keep going. Intensify those sensations. Halfway. Keep it going. Let's go deep. Ten more. Nice and easy. Five more. Stay relaxed. Breathe into the sensation. 3, 2, 1 more. Exhale and stop. Relax your fingers. Relax your face. Relax your toes. Turn inward. When you're ready to breathe, deeply in and hold for 15 seconds. Maybe press your belly, press your chest, squeeze your shoulders, move that oxygen to your fingers and your head. Yeah, feels good. 11 o'clock. If it's cool with you guys, I'm going to do one more round. Let's go for it. The third round's always the best. Well, actually, every round you do is the best, but let's do one more. Here we go. 30 breaths. sensation. Halfway. Ten more. Deeply in. Let it go. Deeply in. Let it go. Find your rhythm. Five more. Two more breaths. Last one. Let it go. Stop. Close your eyes. Relax your muscles. Calm your mind. Wash the back of your eyelids. When you're ready, deeply in. Hold. Nice. Let it go. Feeling good. Ready for a good Sunday today. Hope you guys get some training in. Hope you have some fun. Hope your body feels loose. Please give Wellness for Jiu-Jitsu a follow on all of his social media. Give me a follow, Submission Yogi. Reach out to me, hit me up, send me messages, comment on any posts that we make, and give me some feedback. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Maybe share your times for how long you hold your breath. If breathing practice is new to you, share a little bit of your journey with this breathing and with yoga. Check out yogaforbjj.net. They have the best variety of yoga for jiu-jitsu practitioners, or even if you don't do jiu-jitsu, they've got some great yoga. Sebastian and the crew out there, they do some awesome stuff. So follow them. I think they even have a half off for your first month, so it's like $10, or maybe it's a month free, I forget. You might even get a month free, but I know I've got a promo code in my Instagram page that'll give you a half off, and I get a little kickback for that too. So that's cool. Support me. But yeah, love you guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Peace.